And I've been showing people all week long, and reminding myself too, but showing people all day long how they're caught up in their stories. So don't think it's just you that does it. It's a problem that's shared by many. I mean, life is so amazingly perfect that we don't have words to describe. Poets have attempted to talk about the perfection of life. It is so. Jackie Gleason used to say how sweet it is. How sweet it is. It is just that sweet and that amazing and that wonderful, and yet, Auntie Mame, what'd she say? It's a banquet. But most people are what? I think she said most sons of so-and-so are starving. How are we starving in this banquet of life? Why is there such hunger and such need? Need. I said that way on purpose. Need stands for, in circles I travel, NEED, never-ending excessive demands. You need a microphone? Really? Am I creating this?
No, they're talking, and it's
together. I told you that it's all about oneness here, baby. You sure you don't want to give the talk?
No. I'm just observing.
I know, but you could share that. You are anyway, so we'll give you a mic. So back to the BS that we're talking about, right? Okay. So life is really great, and then there's the story we talk about. I think it was Sandberg, I can't remember what poet, who said, to see heaven in a wildflower and eternity in a grain of sand. You can do that. You can see all of heaven in a wildflower. You contemplate eternity in a grain of sand. It's possible. You can come to that point where you understand how sweet it is. The potential to see life as it truly is available to everybody. And yet, we don't do it often, some of us, most of us. We get caught up in these stories of littleness and otherness. Two great stories. You know, I'm small, other people are big, and other people are doing things to me. That's a bunch of what? Yeah. Hooey, BS, it's crap. And the thing is, okay, so you can spin that story. How's that working for you? So what do we do if we know what we know? And what we know, I think a lot of people know this teaching. I'm learning a lot of people don't know this teaching. This teaching is fantastic. This teaching can take everybody anywhere you ever could want to go. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people will run from this teaching because implicit in it is responsibility for taking care of who? Yes, taking care of yourself and whose thoughts? Florence Scovel Shinn, I think, either that or it was Emma Curtis Hopkins, it was Shinn, said you have to become guardian at the gate of your own consciousness. Now, what the heck was she talking about? Yeah, so Mary Alice is saying you have to be responsible for your own consciousness. What does that really mean? Yes. Being aware constantly in this new moment, because every moment is a what? New moment. Every darn one of them. And most of us are creating out of the BS of what? I told you I had this brilliant conversation with my father so many years ago. One morning I called him and he said he was watching one of the morning shows like Good Morning America, and there was a Jesuit priest, and he said, I think I just heard the most brilliant thing or intelligent thing I've ever heard on the morning show. And I said, what is that? He says, well, this renowned scholar, this Jesuit priest, said he wakes up each day and he asks God or the universe that for this one day alone, may all prejudice be removed from my mind. For this one day, may everything I think I know about everything and everyone be gone, so I can approach everything fresh and new with the eyes of seeing the good. Or others would say seeing the Christ, or seeing that awakened spirit, where I can know that every encounter is a holy encounter, without my spin about anyone or anything. If you were in a 12-step program, there is a part of the literature, and it's called, they recite it sometimes, called acceptance. And in the body of that reading, and it goes on to say, and acceptance is the answer to all my problems. And it wasn't until I could accept whatever the situation was, and that I could accept life being completely on life's terms, that I could be happy. Now that's an idea. Me accepting life completely on life's terms brings happiness. And it goes on to say, as I just said, nothing, absolutely nothing happens in God's world by mistake. In religious science, we teach perfect place, perfect time. It's a phrase that we learn in classes. Everything is happening at the perfect time and the perfect place, even if you don't agree with it. Perfect time, perfect place doesn't suggest that you need to agree. What we do in religious science is we're not trying to manipulate the universe. We're really attempting to align ourselves with what is. It's an idea ascribed to Buddha. I don't know really if it came from Buddha. The idea is whatever is, I've heard it said two ways. Whatever is, and I've also heard it said, whatever is best. Very similar idea. Life is so perfect, it's unbelievable. It's our spin about life that is problematic. What do I mean by our spin? Yeah, we got all these lenses and filters coming from our ancient thoughts and belief system and our I'm not good enough stories, or somebody owes me and I've been good and I deserve this and they're that and this is this. All of that is opinion, and it's opinion that's usually generated from our story, his story, the history that I've had inside of me, and I'm creating a world through lenses of my story. All right. So if you take all that stuff away, all those stories, and you're left with just you and me in this new moment, what have we got? No story, just us in this new moment. What do you have? If you take away all the junk, you have nothing or you have everything. All possibility is there if you take the story away. If I'm there and I've judged you and judged the situation, judged everything, this can't happen, this isn't going to work, this is screwed up, this is this, I'm screwed up, I'm too old, it's this, it's that. Well, then the universe is going to do what with you? It always accepts us at what? That's the good news and that's the bad news. It accepts us, it's done unto you as you believe. It accepts you at your own level. We are each created, in such a way that we have the ability to decide and to choose. And as Louise Hay so eloquently says in this book, and we have unlimited choices. We have unlimited choices, and yet many of us live our lives like we're gerbils in the cage and going around and around the same darn circle, thinking the same types of habituated thoughts, and our life continues to do what? It outpictures that darn wheel that you're on. So it's time, I invite you to step off what? Because you're running faster and faster, you're going absolutely nowhere with that type of habituated thinking. That's why they call this new thought. Old thought, how's it working for you? The old thought produces the old stuff. Would you please do this sermon? Say that again.
We have the ability to change.
Now say it with enthusiasm.
I'm being honest.
Yes. Say it with some enthusiasm. Come on.
You're trying to get me off there. Forget it.
No, you have all the right lines. Just say it with some vigor. We have what?
Never read a lie. Just keep going.
Thank you. We have the ability, the ability to change. That's great.
Yeah.
Now I just want you to like get up there and really, yeah. And then one day when Karen's feeling up to snuff, I have her stop in the name of love every time someone tells themselves a what? A story. Talent here. Okay. So I've said this before. I don't know where I read it. I think it was in the Beverly Hills lectures that Ernest Holmes wrote. It may have been someplace else, but he said that each of us have this, in his time, a very large bank account with $50,000 in it, he said. Now we'll multiply it times maybe 10 or 20 or inflation. I don't know. Maybe there's 500,000 in it. Or $1 million. Who knows? He said, we have this big bank account downtown, and the money's in there for who? For you. It's got your name on it. And if you want to receive, all you have to do is learn how to go down and open it up and learn how to receive the good, because the good you are seeking is already where? It's there for you. So stop saying there's no good for you. The good is established by your birthright. It's always been there for you. David Walker taught me years ago that it's my job to create avenues in mind to receive the good that's already there. The good that you're seeking is seeking you. I used to love and hate that statement. The good that I am seeking is seeking me. What does that mean? And it's trying its damnedest to get my attention. When I make these side deals, the deals with the devil that I don't believe in, that when I make these side deals where I take shortcuts, how does that work? Whoop, whoop, whoop. You get these cosmic 2x4s. Ouch, that hurt, right? Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah. So I try to hang on to something, some fact, some situation, some person, something, long after I ought to be doing what with that situation, person, or thing. Yeah, but I'm still what? How's that working? White knuckle sobriety, cosmic 2x4s, and if we're not careful, it's a Mack truck. So the universe all along has been attempting to get our attention through nudges, moments of inspiration, dreams. But no, not us. We're the proverbial one that you've heard the story of the hole in the sidewalk, right? Person goes out the door, goes around the corner, falls in the hole, right? Next week comes out the door, goes down around the corner, falls in the hole again. Person goes out the door of the polyweek, goes down around the corner, he looks at the hole, keeps walking, falls in again. Are you like that? Well, eventually, after you keep going out that door around the corner and fall in the hole, eventually you decide, geez, I think I'm going to take a different road, right? So why is it some of us have to learn that way? What's with that? But we're so it's difficult to change. We're stuck in our... So Mary Alice says it's difficult for us to take responsibility, look at ourselves, and it is hard, right? So, but how, isn't it harder to keep falling in the hole? You get good at falling.
You know it's going to happen. So
and crawling your way out is a way of life.
you get a lot of practice.
You have a lot of practice falling in the holes and a lot of practice crawling your way out. And then we can get into a story of how brave I am and how good I am of a crawler and a digger outer of holes. And then you really want to say, is this, as Peggy Lee used to say, is that all there is? Is this all there is? You who are heirs to everything are crawling out of holes all the time. When you really could be kings or queens of your whole life and have it all come to you with joy, grace, and ease, which really is your birthright. And yet we're crawling out of holes, going down the same old streets. And we think that's all there is. We got to sing Peggy Lee too, you know. So, if you're happy doing that, when you deserve the sun and the stars and the moon and everything, this is not a dress rehearsal, anybody. This is it. And I'm not saying like this is it, oh poor us. I'm saying this is it. This is like the day. This is the time. Are you going to embrace the moment and get excited about the most important person in your world? And if you're really working this teaching right, you're going to get so excited about yourself you can't stand it. Are you that excited about yourself, Bibi?
Well, let's say this.
Okay.
I'm happy this week because I work every single day.
I get you. Are you excited about you?
I'm excited the fact that I had a job and I could go to it.
All right, well, that's a great beginning. You're excited about that, right? Are you excited about you?
Yeah.
There you go. You love, accept, and approve of yourself exactly as you are? Okay? You wake up every morning and say, I love me.
Once in that, I said, okay, what school do I go to today? Which direction am I going, left or right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I've been challenging people all week long. It seems to me they've wanted me to go everywhere and teach this very same message all week long, is to get off your butts and to take a look at your BS. Because that's the stuff that's holding you back. Your butts and your BS. What do we mean by your butts? You who have heir to everything, and I mean everything with that big bank account of yours, right? And just have to learn how to receive the laws of receiving and get your bloated nothingness, what's his name? Emerson said, to get your bloated nothingness out of the way. You who have it all you have to learn is to get off your what? Butts. And just start saying yes to what? Life everywhere. I'm one with everything that's good. I'm one with all opportunity. I'm one with healing patterns. I'm one with wealth. I'm one with it all. I am one with it. I am a part of it. It's in and out of me. I'm not looking for my good hither and yon. Dr. Seuss. And when I get myself into a slump, Dr. Seuss would tell me it's time to unslump myself. And I'm not playing the waiting game anymore either. Dr. Seuss. Waiting for my hair to grow, the fish to bite, or a date on Saturday night. I know that my kingdom of heaven, the good that I'm seeking, is seeking me. And I'm going to refuse to think any kind of negative thinking about me or anything else. I've learned through Louise Hay in this great book, never, never, never criticize the self. Stop it. Stop in the name of love. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop criticizing others. Ernest Holmes said, find me 100 people who are for something, and I will find the Redeemer of my soul. Be a person who is for things. Now, release the need to be the criticizer. There's plenty of that out there. One of my teachers years ago, I've forgotten which ones, said, we are the applauders of life. We who really understand this teaching, we're here to applaud who? Everything we can see that's good, we applaud. And if you're going around telling people, geez, that's great, even if it's the smallest effort, do you know how important that is? Because probably themselves, when they make a little effort, they say, gee, I didn't do that well enough. I didn't do as well as my brother. I'm no good at this. They don't know how to encourage themselves, and a lot of people don't, and they get stuck and they quit. They quit before what happens? Yeah, often. And you who know what you know can be such a healing force in the world simply by encouraging people to be what you know they to be. You know them all to be one with God and supported and supplied. And if you can just go around in your life giving people encouragement, you're doing spiritual work. You can't be doing spiritual work if you're being critical. Every loving thought is true. Get that down. All the critical story is just you judging the universe, and the universe doesn't need to be judged. The universe is what? It's very simple. It's all very simple. And then you might say, oh God, there's a lot to be done. Oh yeah, maybe there is a little bit to be done. Okay, I have a lot to do. We all, so what? Louise Hay in this book says it's like cleaning a house. Begin where? Kindly. Not by saying, if he really knew how screwed up I am. No. Come right back and say, I'm in the perfect place, perfect time, and this is the moment, and all is well in my world. And as I start to think, and if I have thoughts that are negative, I'm going to cancel, and I'm going to keep it and turn it around from a negative into a what? Right. That's how you practice the science of mind. New thought. You keep working with your thoughts. Eventually, your belief system will shift like a teeter-totter, like that's what it is. It will shift from being negative to more what? Positive. And it goes through the filter or the tapes within you, your old tapes where you're on that wheel, like that gerbil, and it becomes more positive, and the screen of your life is going to shape up and look much, much different than what it looked in the past. Because if your consciousness is weighted toward the positive, then your life is going to reflect that. If you tend to be very critical, self-critical, judgmental, that's going to show up too. And it's never, ever, ever going to be about the other person. That's a tough lesson that took me too long to learn. I guess, it took me whatever it took me. But the thing is, it's never about the other guy. Do you get what I mean by that? Whatever story you're spinning, it's not about them. That's a real waste of time to be talking about them. It's really more interesting to talk about you and the story you are spinning. Shakespeare, all the world is what? And who's the author of the play? Who's assigning these people their entries and their exits and their roles? Yeah, you're running the whole damn thing. So you get to write the story and have it be what? Yeah, you get to write it and have it be magnificent, really. Or you can write some Greek tragedy if you want to. Where you're keeping those holes and you're pulling yourself out, and that's a way of life. That's unnecessary. If you have the information you have, and I know that you have it because we're sharing it, there's power for good in the universe and its homestead, and you can what? So for the love of God, if you know you have this power, why not what? I can't stand it when people tell me I don't have and I don't know. I want to go kick them. Of course, that's not the answer. They whine. It's like having the king of a country or a queen talking about what they don't have. When they have access to all the resources imaginable. Much more so than the common person, because you have resources, because you know what you know. And yet you're in a story of littleness. And I don't have this, and I don't have that, and I'm dumbfounded. I'm thinking, what the heck are these people listening to every week? You have it all. You are heirs to everything. Prodigal son story. Born in the kingdom. Now, you might have gone off and done some wine women in song, or wine men in song, whatever you've done, and gone off to the weeds. But wake up. And know in the Father's house, or think of the mother's house, whatever you want to think of it as, you're heir to everything that's fantastic. And as you turn to that, the metaphor is, as you turn to the Father within, it's instantly there for you. You're never really separate from it. You're always what with it? It can be no other way. You can't be separate from it, even if you wanted to be. So in this consciousness today, we're going to close with the idea that we are supplied and supported in ways that are unbelievable, and there's power for good in the universe, and each of us are determined to use it dynamically this week. And so it is.
Thank you, Greg.